This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The Value-Added Tax Initiative, or VAT, that the government hopes to implement next July has gotten mixed reviews from the business community.
But Vice President of Government and External Affairs for Bahama, Robert Sands, is welcoming the idea, but says more information is still needed on its direct implications.
Question in our mind that VAT is a necessary process that has to happen for the economic stability of this country going forward. There's still quite a few unanswered questions. We are hopeful that we would be able to be in possession of some of the tariff reduction measures so that we can look at the true impacts of our properties. At the moment, there's indication that it will be cost positive rather than cost negative for us. So we do see certain of our services and costs increasing as a direct result of this implementation.
The National Child Protection Council, in conjunction with the Bain and Grantstown Urban Renewal Project, hosted a Universal Children's Day seminar today under the theme, I Got a Right. Minister of Social Services, the Honorable Melanie Griffin, told police and Defense Force officers that significant strides have been made in establishing legislation to protect children. And despite public perception, children have just as much rights and in some cases more than those who are responsible for their care. And one of those is the right to privacy.
You have a right to the best available health care and medical services. Also, if you are disabled, either mentally or physically, you have the right to special care and education to help you develop and lead a full life. You have a right to an education. Yeah, you have a right to privacy, but you also ought to be responsible with it and allow your parents to know what you're doing, because that is the only way they'll be able to provide you with the care and protection that you deserve.
Minister of National Security and Member of Parliament for Bain and Grantstown, the Honorable Dr. Bernard Nottage, noted that children should be afforded the right to grow up in a home with both parents, directing the recommendation at fathers in particular.
That we have parentcraft for fathers, that I don't know how we can make it mandatory, but I think that if you're going to father children, you should learn how to become a parent. And you should learn what your obligations are and what your responsibilities are, and of course, what your rights are. I think that I would like to encourage the social organizations, particularly churches, to sponsor father-to-father programs. Because one great way for fathers to learn to be fathers is not from women, but from men. Men who are themselves good fathers. I think that those of us in the medical profession who supervise the pregnancy of mothers should encourage fathers and enable them to attend antenatal clinics with their wives. You know, some men go from one pregnancy to the next and never once go and see the doctor to find out how things are with the wife. Wife's legs swell up, wife get a little grouchy, he doesn't understand what's going on. It should be necessary for them to go. They don't have to go every visit, but maybe at least 3 or 4 visits during the course of the pregnancy. And in order for them to do that, they might need a couple of hours off from work to do so. We should provide.
Thelma Gibson Primary School celebrated more than 100 students today who have earned a grade point average of 3.0 and higher. Destiny Ferguson, a 5th grader, received a Top Achiever Award for getting a 4.0. She's happy about her accomplishment and plans to keep it up. Principal Donna Brown says Destiny and other achievers are on a mission to shine.
There was a 4.0 by studying hard.
This girl, she liked books and she was studying. She was very constant and consistent in her work. She was great. She always wanted to make a 4.0. And that was her goal for this year.
This is very, very important. In fact, it's a motivation so that those students who are not sitting where the others are this morning in January, we hope that they would be there too.
Bahamas Striping has launched a 31-day project hoping to raise $60,000 to be divided across 4 charities. The 4 charities run the gamut from the Bahamas Red Cross Special Olympics, the Bahamas Alliance for Animal Rights, or BARC, and the Humane Society. The philanthropic gesture by Bahamas Striping is geared toward making Bahamians more aware of the needs of society and donating to charities in general. The company won't only hold several dollar-day events, but will also produce a documentary to make more Bahamians aware of these charities and sponsor an island-wide T-shirt day. Bahamas Striping President Altario Mitchell.
Where government workers, school students, and corporate citizens can be a part of. The work that these charities are doing in the community is priceless, and we want to invite the entire community to help them in their journey and fighting for the soul of the Bahamas. We want to invite the entire community to be a partner and help them to fight for the soul of the Bahamas. I would also like to let everybody know that every dollar is that dollar that could. So we at Bahamas Striping is pretty much excited to be a part of this program and helping these charities to continue their work.
Now, the 4 groups that will benefit from the Dollar That Could initiative believe this is a great gesture from Bahamas Striping.
I like to say there are businesses that have a conscience, and clearly Bahamas Striping is one of the first to really step forward and show that they not only have a conscience, but they have a heart.
The reach of this contribution at the end of the day is truly magnanimous, and we've seen the plans, and it's very well thought out.
Everyone, I think, feels overwhelmed in the community. There's so many charities that need help, and people just think, oh, I can't fix the problem, so I just won't do anything. But getting out there and showing just giving $1 is going to make a difference will really show everyone that if they just do a little bit, they can do, make big changes.
We would like to extend a very, very, very hearty thank you to Bahamas Striping for the Dollar That Could program and choosing the Bahamas Red Cross this year. We're happy to be a part of it with you and thanking you for that opportunity.
Wheel of Fortune produced some segments of its game show at the Sandals Royal Bahamian Resort last weekend. That means millions of wheel watchers will take in scenes of picturesque Nassau along with the beaches, sun, and sand. Julian Gibson was there as 2 of the world's most famous game show hosts took in the Bahamas.
With the Wheel of Fortune show being produced at the Sandals Resort here in the capital, the benefits are enormous for Sandals and the Bahamas.
Each week of shows that we air that are designated as Sandals Weeks will have about 28 million viewers seeing Sandals, seeing the Bahamas, and these first shows will air in February, and I think every one of those people are going to be saying, wait a minute, it's cold where I am. I think I'd rather be in the Bahamas.
Now, even though they have been at Sandals Royal Bahamian shooting before, doing it once again is always special.
I could come here every day and be happy. There's something new every day, and it's just, I never get tired of it. So,
wherever we're doing the show, even if we're doing it back in our little old studio in Southern California, I mean, we treat every show as a special show. It may be our 6,000th or 7,000th show, but for the 3 players who are on the show that day and for the people who are watching that day, it's that 1/2 hour that they care about. So we're pretty good, both of us, I think, about keeping up enthusiasm and treating each show as a special entity and not saying, oh, here we go again, which is easy to do when you've done something for a long time.
Now, Julian Lord is one of the Bahamians, a part of the technical team working with the foreign production experts. For him, it has been rewarding.
It's like a learning experience. Being local, you get like an international feeling of working with international people who have work worldwide and work on a lot of different properties. So you gain a lot of working experience in the film industry.
In fact, Pat and Vanna had so much fun, they also toyed around with the camera. Reporting for the ZNS News Network, I am Julian Gibson.
A 2-day business seminar which will empower artisans to become better entrepreneurs is underway at the Super Club's Breezes at Cable Beach.
It's the 8th executive meeting hosted by the Bahamas National Handicraft Association, the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation, and the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources.
And as Ledaunne Davis tells us, while this business seminar is a positive step in the right direction, the industry is still facing some challenges.
Nearly 1,500 Bahamian artisans are making big bucks from the multi-million-dollar handicraft industry. And to make the sale of handicraft products like earrings, bags, and jewelry easier, the Bahamas National Handicraft Association is staging a 2-day business seminar to steer artisans away from not only making the products, but operating an effective business. Board member and past president of BNHA, Melanie Thompson, says while the seminar is a timely one, the industry is still challenged with getting a presence in the straw market.
We only have about 7 or 8 booths in there that sell authentic Bahamians, and so we are really outnumbered by just the vendors selling, and so that was a challenge for us.
Chairman of BAIC Arnold Forbes says handicraft is a crucial part of the country's rich history and believes 1 week of activities is not enough to showcase the best artisans have to offer.
BAIC is exploring the idea of having Arawaki as a year-round spot for Bahamian artisans to display their art, for Bahamian artists, singing artists, graphic artists, or whoever, to display their goods on a year-round basis. What we are looking at is organizing a show 2 times a day of Bahamian culture at Arawaki. That is the plan.
As the government pumps millions into the industry, Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources V. Alfred Gray told artisans that current and future investors will be granted the opportunity to promote Bahamian handicrafts.
Those developments which are on stream or those which will come on stream be a part of the fabric of our country by demonstrating that they will put in their hotels, they will put in their establishments those things which are created in and by the Bahamian.
The National Handicraft Association has under its belt some 35 small branches scattered across the country. By the end of the year, the association plans to implement the Bahamas Artisans Platform as a boost to assist artisans in selling their products internationally. Ledaunne Davis, ZNS Network News.
Well, this week's poll results are in. We asked this week if you thought that the Bahamas government should implement a value-added tax system, or VAT.
Well, here's what you voted. 57% said no, representing the majority.
25% of pollsters voted yes, and 18% voted not now.
Well, we want to thank you for participating in this week's poll. The next poll question will be announced Monday, and you can go to our website, that's www.znsbahamas.com, to cast your vote. Results are announced every Friday. Well, coming up in sports, soft ballers converge along and all going after a national championship. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Ledaunne Davis. The Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, and Jamaica are said to be leading the Caribbean in improving the region's business climate. This according to a new World Bank report released this week. The Washington-based financial institution said 3 CARICOM countries took steps to improve their business regulatory environment over the past year. The World Bank, during its business report, credited the Bahamas for reducing the cost of transferring property and improving its insolvency process. The Bahamas will be hosting the 38th plenary meeting of the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force in Freeport, Grand Bahama from November 18th through 21st. The CFAIF is an organization of 29 Caribbean states which has agreed to implement common countermeasures to address the problem of money laundering. The Bahamas last led the CFATF in 2002. This year, Attorney General Senator the Honorable Alison Maynard Gibson will assume chairmanship. And in the international business news, a new Apple device hits the international market today. The new iPad Air is now on sale, marking Apple's biggest tablet launch yet. The new gadget has color options in white, space gray, and black, and is 8 times faster than the original iPad. The Apple Air will make its presence felt in some 42 countries and can be purchased at a price tag of $499 in stores across the United States. And that's a look at your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Ledaunne Davis.